Sleeper! Seraphine's voice echoes through the ship. You in here? You glide down the airlock, unsure of what state you are about to find your pilot in. Seraphine floats in the airlock, his arms above his head, gripping the lip of the interior door to hold himself in place. Come on, we need to talk. There's a straight-faced seriousness to Seraphine you weren't expecting, especially considering that he spent the past 2 cycles with Marko. Follow him. Seraphine leads you across the bridge, but rather than turn towards the automated shuttle bay that connects Marko's yard to the rest of the assembly, he leads you deeper into the guts of the yard itself. As he does, he begins to speak. I told Marko about Lane, about our escape, about everything. Seraphine ducks under a large pipe. He gets it. He's worked in Darkside. Trust him? I do. He looks back over his shoulder at you. And I would hope you trust me by now, too. It comes to a sealed door and hammers in an entry code. Somewhere, machines start whirring. Remember in Wellspring, after everything what I said? Seraphine turns to face you. About taking Lane on? Exactly that. Seraphine meets your eye. The door suddenly squeals as the ancient motors kick in and drag it across its corroded tracks. It reveals a large, half-lit chamber, its furthest parts masked with layers of scaffolding and frames so it is hard to tell where the room actually ends. At the center, in a pool of warm light, Marko floats beside the terminal screen. Sleeper. He touches his brow in a mock salute as you enter. What happened to being drinking buddies? They all had drinking done in the first cycle. Marko smiles. Second cycle was all about problem solving. Through the door you enter through, screech shut, and then a sudden silence descends. Sorry to drag you out here, Sleeper, but I really can't be overheard on this one. He sighs. We're close to Darkside here, and Utsubo have ambitions, shall we say, in the Scatteryards. You told me the whole story, and I'm sorry for your troubles. He clasps his hands together. You've done well to evade Lane this far, but you must understand he's also been distracted. Since export went up, well, Darkside has been in crisis. If the war was the pressure shift that allowed Utsubo to build its strength, export was the breach to blow it wide open. Marko springs his hands apart. Export's their justification for imposing total control in the name of protection. Marko glances away into the dark corner of the room. If my hunch is right, that's how they will extend their reach to the Scatteryards. This is going. Marko laughs and looks at Seraphine. Straight to the business, this one. I'm done running, Sleeper. Seraphine cuts in. I hate looking over my shoulder every cycle. I hate the nightmares, the fear. I want to face this head on, for better or worse. He looks away, scowling. I won't be controlled by Lane. This is our chance to break that control. Lane is hunting you, Sleeper, which means he is not in Darkside. Marko raises an eyebrow. This is good for you. There are people in Darkside resisting Utsubo. Right here it is not going well for them. If you could find them, find out what they need, there's a chance here. Marko pauses, and you get the feeling he's assessing your reaction. Taking action is a choice right now, Sleeper, but soon it won't be. Seraphine glances at Marko. Not if what Marko is telling me is true. Let's do this in our own terms. What do we need to do? Seraphine meets her eye with conviction. Thank you, Sleeper. I know we can do this. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Marko interrupts. I will need some time to work this out. If you two want to go to Darkside, there is no way you can take that stolen rig. It was a big enough risk just to bring it here. He glances at Seraphine, and you get the feeling he has already been reprimanded for this. So, I need to find you a way in, a way out. Marko rubs his hands together. I know it can be done. Marko turns to you. I recommend you take the next few cycles to prepare. The Scatteryards are a good place to both spend and make cryo depending on your need. And Finn? Marko puts a hand on his friend's shoulder. Try to stay cool. This will be recon only, a chance to see what's happening on Darkside and make your connections. It is not the time for grand gestures. Seraphine nods. Thank you, Marko. He glances at you. We'll keep things quiet until you are ready. You and Seraphine leave the hidden bay, the door screeching open to allow you to exit. When it seals once more, Seraphine turns to you. This is our chance to shift things, Sleeper. Let's keep our heads in the game. Agreed. I'll start preparing. Seraphine nods. Oh, alright then. We should give Marko some time. I've got a few things I want to take care of in the Scatteryards, and I want to get a message to Tala. I know she would want to hear from me before. Let's make sure we are ready. Keep your head up, sleeper. I'll see you on the rig. With that, Surfing kicks off down the passage on his way to the shuttle dock. You watch him go, unsure if you are impressed or concerned about his headstrong nature. Either way, things are in motion. The only thing you can do now is give yourself the best chance of success. Which feels like endgame. We'll see about that. Also, we are starving, so I need to find some food. Marko's plan. Marko, it's time to set up your entry point into dark side, so all you can do is wait, prepare, and try to stay calm. Oh no, all the sixes, what I'm going to do with them. Encryption is not a common one, but you are starting to see the pattern in its code. Kadet is impressed. Don't be, I don't know what I'm doing. It will all come down to the 5. Woo! We have access. Now to find out what the drive holds, that is so important. It catches your eye as you look over at her. What is it? She takes the end of the metal chopstick she had been chewing on out of her mouth. That's something? Kadet had given up already for the cycle, and while you were cracking the drive's complex encryption on her friend's workstation, she had been floating in the middle of the small workshop, pinging bits of scrap off the shelving on the wall. Now she spins in there and pushes off from the ceiling, spinning as she glides so she lands perfectly behind you, leaning over the terminal screen. As she does, you hit a key, executing the final decryption process. Blick. She goes to ruffle your hair, but you don't have any. Instead, she just wobbles your head playfully. What do we got? With Kadet hanging over your shoulder, you try to concentrate on the data spooling across the screen. The first thing that catches your eye is the steady repetition of CWEXT, an identifier for Conway extractions, a behemoth conglomerate currently waging a corporate war with Senate Stat in the inner system. Why Conway? What is this data? You stop the scroll looking for details. Hit a thing. Kadet pokes the screen, making it wobble. You dutifully click. A command expands in the code. A note left by someone. It mentions tests and protocols, discusses reverse engineering and carrier signals. You close it and find another drone latency, another security bypass, one more kill switch. It takes a long time, you and Kadet squinting into the blue screen to build up a picture of what you are looking at. When you are done, both of you sit back, your eyes sore and your minds clogged with technical terminology. Yet, Kadet shakes red. They're dissecting it live. She's referring to the Conway drone mine this stream of data was scraped from. Huge volumes of internal data of control systems, protocols, and passphrases. The kind of data you imagine was closely guarded by Conway, kept secret to allow the smooth operation of its drones. This thinks it's some kind of general manager, right? Giving orders out to all the little drones that work with it? It squints. I always thought Conway controlled its drones remotely with people, those zero latency point interfaces you hear about. From what you know, Kadet is right. Conway is known for their novel solution to the scale and logistical problems of the surrogate systems. Extraction and security drone ships piloted from light years away with proprietary comms interfaces. A drone mine what this code is scraped from should be a kind of a distributor, a relay for the local drones that links to the closely guarded transmitter receiver. But this data suggests otherwise. It suggests an active cognitive process, far more complex than any protocol you have heard of. A thinking machine. Look! Kadet jabs at the screen again. Is that... He squints. You see a line in the data stream that reads simply, stop, get out, stop, get out, stop, get out, stop, get out. How did they do this? Kadet leans back. Everyone knows captured Comet drones purge themselves and everything else in the couple of square clicks around them when captured. Rip the control core out of stone, sure you can disable it, but its system will be gone. This one was still running when they took it apart. It should have gone up like a tactical nuke the moment they started. You stop suddenly, the fate of Hexport jumping into her mind. Is that what happened? But how did they get all this and get it out on the drive? Silence fills the workshop. You look back to the screen, unsure of the answers to Kadet's question. You feel a deep chill, one that you know has nothing to do with the temperature of the workshop. Who the hell was doing this? Kadet scans the code once more. I have no idea. We've been at this too long, Kadet sighs. I'm cooked. She pushes away from the terminal and floats in the room, stretching out her aching back. We know they had this drone mined on Hexport. That's where they were cutting it, scraping it. We know something happened, and Hexport went up. She sketches her thoughts out in the air with hand gestures as she summarizes. The data got out on the drive, I'm assuming, before the explosion. They got to the far spindle. Someone tried to courier it using me, but the receiver wasn't there. She turns and looks at you. Which is when they ruined my life and my job trying to get it back. We need more information. Yeah. We do. She floats over to the drive and picks it up. This thing has trouble written all over it. But it's also the only way to buy my life back. Now I say it, we have to expose those fools so they'll leave me be, or, the data so they piss off forever. We can't give them this. If we don't know who they are. He laughs half-heartedly, but yeah, we can't. All the roads lead in one direction, I'm afraid. He spins the drive in the air. Back home. Export. If there's anything to confirm or deny this data, if there's anything to connect it to, if there's anything left at all, it'll be in the remains of that station. I had a feeling it might come to this, so I made some inquiries when I first got here. The worry is that the piece is irradiated to hell, but I've also heard the radiation is fading, and it's not like half the belt isn't glowing anyway. She shrugs grimly. With suits, we'd have maybe a few cycles before it started to leak through. The problem is getting in. She puts the drive back on the desk. Magnetic surface. Our spindle is a no. Not only do I not want to get picked up there, but the debris is denser on that side. No safe way in. Dark side is the best bet. She shakes her head. I heard you have some trouble waiting for you there. What if I deal with the trouble? Then we'd have a clear shot at it. She shrugs. Easier said than done. This place has one hell of a stowaway spot. Shielded from everything. Plus, the Scatteryards are no one's territory. I'm gonna leave the drive here. Means at you. No peeking. But me? I want to keep moving, so I was thinking I could make myself useful till you shake the trouble on Dark Side. He smiles. Work for room and board and all that. Could be dangerous. More dangerous than waiting for my troubles to catch up with me? I doubt it. What do you say? She folds her arms. You know I'm tough and I can do plenty besides ride an air bike. You're in. That's the answer I was looking for. Kadet scans the workshop. I have enough of space or bathrooms for a lifetime. I make myself at home on her rig. Picks up the drive and tucks it in the pocket. Kadet glances away at the racks on the wall, and you follow her eyes to spot her air bike, where it is hanging, carefully secured and pristinely kept. Kadet gives you a hard look. Better have a room for my bike. We'll have room for your bike, chill. It's fine. Let's use the 2 here. Let's lose money. Ooh, okay. Didn't lose money there. Air supply. Buy fuel. If need be. Okay, let's switch to other jobs and cycle. And we have one more cycle to kill.